Bangladesh, country located in the South Asia delta of the Padma and Jamuna rivers in the northeastern part of the Indian subcontinent. Head of government, Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. Bangladesh capital, Dhaka city. Population, according to the calculation of 2022. 171,704,000. Head of state, President Abdul Hamid. Form of government, unitary multi-party republic with one legislative house. The riverine country of Bangladesh, land of the Bengals, is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, and its people are predominantly Muslim. As the eastern portion of the historical region of Bengal, the area once formed, along with what is now the Indian state of West Bengal, the province of Bengal in British India. With the partition of India in 1947, it became the Pakistani province of East Bengal, later renamed East Pakistan, one of 5 provinces of Pakistan, separated from the other 4 by 1,100 miles, 1,800 kilometers, of Indian territory. In 1971 it became the independent country of Bangladesh, with its capital at Dhaka. The land of Bangladesh. Physical features of Bangladesh. Physical features of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is bordered by the Indian states of West Bengal to the west and north, Assam to the north, Meghalaya to the north and northeast, and Tripura and Mizoram to the east. To the southeast, it shares a boundary with Myanmar, Burma. The southern part of Bangladesh opens into the inundations are both a blessing and a curse. Without them, the fertile silt deposits would not be replenished, but severe floods regularly damage crops and ruin hamlets and sometimes take a heavy toll on human and animal populations. 4 main rivers constitute the river system of the Chittagong Hills and the adjoining plains, the Feni, the Karnafuli, the Sangu, and the Matamuhari. Flowing generally west and southwest across the coastal plain, they empty into the Bay of Bengal. Of these rivers the longest is the Karnafuli, which is dammed at Kottai, about 30 miles, 50 kilometers, upstream from its mouth near the city of Chittagong. Plant and animal life in Bangladesh. Bangladesh in general possesses a luxuriant vegetation, with villages appearing to be buried in groves of mango, jackfruit, bamboo, betel nut, coconut, and date palm. However, only a small portion of the country's land surface is covered with forests. Of the carnivores, the Royal Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris, is the best known. The common leopard, P. pardus, is native to the region, as is its smaller relative, the rare clouded leopard, Neophilus nebulosa, with its dark gray oblong spotted fur. The ferocious leopard cat, Felis bengalensis, is about the size of the domestic cat but with longer legs. Languages of Bangladesh. The Bengali language has 2 distinct styles, Sauti Bhasha, the literary style, which contains many words derived from Sanskrit, and Kalit Bhasha, the colloquial style, which is the standard medium of informal discourse, both spoken and written. Until the 1930s Sauti Bhasha was used for all printed matter, but Kalit Bhasha is now the basic form used for contemporary literature. There also are a number of dialects. Bengali contains many loanwords from Portuguese, English, Arabic, Persian, and Hindi. Bangladesh. Religious affiliation. Most of the people of Bangladesh follow the religion of Islam, which was made the official religion by a 1988 constitutional amendment. The arrival of Muslims in Bengal at the beginning of the 13th century and the rapid increase in their strength and influence permanently changed the character and culture of the area. When the Muslims first arrived, Hinduism was by far the dominant religion, although there were pockets of Buddhists and a few adherents of local religions. The Hindus remained in the majority through the Mughal period, 16th to 18th century. Even as late as the early 1870s, there were more than 18 million Hindus in Bengal, compared with about 16 million Muslims. From the 1890s onward, however, the weight began to shift toward the Muslims. Economy of Bangladesh. Bangladesh's heavy dependence on agriculture has long contributed to seasonal unemployment among rural farm workers, as well as to a generally low standard of living in many areas. To counteract this imbalance, a policy of industrialization was adopted in the mid-20th century. During the period of Pakistani administration, 1947-71, priority was given to industries based on indigenous raw materials such as jute, cotton, hides, and skins. The principle of free enterprise in the private sector was accepted, subject to certain conditions, including the national ownership of public utilities. The industrial policy also aimed to develop the production of consumer goods as quickly as possible in order to avoid dependence on imports. Bangladesh, tea picker. Bangladesh has remained largely agricultural, with nearly half the population employed in this sector in the early 21st century. Rice is the predominant agricultural product, but jute and tea, both of which are key sources of foreign exchange, also are important. Indeed, the country is one of the world's leading suppliers of raw jute. Other major agricultural products include wheat, pulses, such as peas, beans, and lentils, sweet potatoes, oil seeds and spices of various kinds, sugarcane, tobacco, and fruits, such as bananas, mangoes, and pineapples. The country also is a leading producer of goat milk and goat meat. Meghna River. The rivers of Bangladesh are particularly amenable to breeding and raising fish, and aquaculture is the source of more than 2/5 of the country's fish yield. However, the rivers and sea coast also offer opportunities for open water fishing, mostly in the estuaries of the Bay of Bengal. Among the varieties of fish caught are the marine rupshanda, or pomfret, and the freshwater hilsa, a relative of the shad. Resources and power. A major obstacle to the economic development of Bangladesh has been a general lack of mineral resources. The country's first oil well, near Sylhet, was established in 1986, but petroleum in marketable quantities has not been struck anywhere in Bangladesh. Natural gas is used mainly in the manufacture of fertilizer and for thermal power. More than half the proven gas reserves are in the Comilla area, and nearly all the rest are in Sylhet. Bangladesh's electricity is produced by thermal and hydroelectric processes. The main source of hydroelectricity is the Kuptai Dam in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. Manufacturing. Because the export of raw jute is not highly remunerative, efforts were made under the Pakistani administration to establish mills to produce and export jute products and thus earn foreign exchange. About 45% of the jute produced during that period was processed in the territory. The balance was exported raw. After independence, jute and jute products remained an important source of the country's foreign exchange earnings. However, the clothing industry expanded rapidly in the late 20th century, and by the early 21st century the export value of garments, hosiery, and knitwear had far surpassed that of jute manufactures. Frozen fish and shrimp also became major exports. Finance of Bangladesh. The Bank of Bangladesh serves as the country's central bank. Upon independence, Bangladesh nationalized all domestic banks, though much of this nationalization was reversed beginning with the privatization program in the 1980s. Since the establishment of Grameen Bank in 1976 and through the efforts of its founder, Muhammad Yunus, Bangladesh has served as a pioneering center for microfinance, a means of extending credit in the form of small loans to non-traditional borrowers, such as the poor.